There was a common light of earthly day. It was a darkness before the gods awake. Darkness darker than the foreboding darkness of the night, the darkness of the foreboding night. It was that darkness which was spread everywhere all around. And there, in the darkness, the mind of night lay stretched across the path of the divine event. The divine event was trying to pass through this darkness darker than the darkness of the night. It is true that the divine event was trying to pass. But this foreboding mind would not allow it to pass. She was there, sleeping across the path like an unthinking woman, the goddess of darkness. Yet, somewhere in her depth, somewhere in the bosom of the darkness, there was something, and it is that we were just musing about this enormous void. Why I am here for? What is the purpose? What is going to happen to things? In that void are present the fallen self, the fallen being, and his power. The fallen self and the insentient power, they are present in that darkness, in the depths of that void. And it is that power in the darkness who is trying to work out things. But she feels tired. She has been attempting to do things that the divine event might occur in this darkness. She finds it not happening. She keeps on trying again and again, and in the process, she feels tired. She would rather go back and disappear into that void, go back to the vacant knot where nothing is present, instead of trying to do something for the advent to the divine event. But even in this knots profound, in the depths of this nothing, there lurks an unremembering entity. There is something there which is not aware why it is there for, what it is there for, but it is there for a certain purpose, and it is that purpose which it tries to remember. In response to that remembrance, from the other side, from the side of light, against from things which are happening in the depths of this darkness, from the other side of boundlessness arrives an eye of seeing deity, seeing power, seeing being, and A thought is sown in the darkness's depths, and a memory quivers. Yes, I am here for a certain purpose, and that purpose must be accomplished. There is a vague smile encouraging things to happen, encouraging for the possibility of movement towards the divine event. The omniscient goddess from the other side, from the side of the boundlessness, she leans across the spaces, across the breadths of this creation. And even as she leans across the spaces, earth feels the touch of the imperishable. Earth feels the touch of the imperishable. That, yes, something will happen. The passage of the imperishable is closed. All then grows a consecration and a rite, an offering to the imperishable, an offering, a prayer, an ahuti to the omniscient goddess. Yes, please come, you are most welcome, and redeem us. It is that offering which is constantly being done there. But even as all grows into a consecration and a rite, the message of the divine goddess, of the omniscient goddess, ceases. She finds that things are not yet ready for her adventure here in this world, and she withdraws. She goes back to her realm of boundlessness. The divine afflatus, the divine message ceases, and as if spent out, withdraws, goes back. The message ceased, and waned the messenger. The messenger retreats, goes back. When it goes back, what remains here is then only the common light of the earthly day. The divine messenger goes back, and here is only the common light of the earthly day, the routine things which cannot take time's movement forward towards the divine event. The meadows, the groves, the streams, the earth, and every common object, every common sight that was apparelled in celestial light, it is not there anymore. Apparelled in celestial light, when the divine messenger was present, it is not there now anymore. It is not there anymore, and what is present is only the common light of the earthly day. This line, there was a common light of earthly day, has an allusion to Wordsworth's intimation of immortality. The poet Wordsworth, he visits the usual place which was apparelled in purple light, in beautiful light, the groves, the trees, the meadows, the stream, they had some other kind of a joy, but he does not see that in those objects there anymore. Instead, what he sees is only the common light, the light of the common day. There was a common light of earthly day.